everybody, Mike Pfeiffer with Pfeiffer Hobby again. Video 85, just a while back, I asked you guys for some suggestions and I had some thoughts, and you guys had thoughts, and fortunately I would say 99 to 100% of those thoughts that you guys had were in total line with what I had. Gavin was over here the other day and he came out here and he made a couple of suggestions, and I'm going to show you what I'm thinking of doing and what I am doing down here at the other end, and you may be able to see a little bit of it already. But anyway, getting beyond that, and sorry for the way I look today, but we've been out for a walk and I've been underneath a bush trying to fix some Christmas lights, and I don't know, I'm a disaster. But anyway, I'm going to fill you in on the whole caddy thing, and let's get to it. Okay, so we'll just do a quick walk around here, and while we're doing that, I'll explain to you. We finally did get the Lincoln back. They supposedly had fixed it. We got a call, what was it, Thursday afternoon, saying it was done. And I went down there to get it, and they said, oh no, it's not done, we got to clean it and we got to do this, and the service manager hasn't taken it for a drive. I said, I don't care, I want the car. Took the key, got in it, drove directly to Cadillac. The young lady at Cadillac drove me back to the dealership to get my Mustang, and came back. She dropped me off. They took the other car, the Lincoln, and I got all the stuff out of it, put it in the trunk of the Mustang, and drove home. So the whole fiasco with the Lincoln is a done deal. We're down to just the 3 cars, and I couldn't be happier. Now let's go inside. Okay, the first thing you can see is that I have all the buildings torn off. The second thing you can see is I have most of the track torn out, with the exceptions of removing the switches, because I have to undo them down under here before I can pull the wires up through, and I'm not sure what I'll need from that point forward, and it doesn't matter right now because my main focus now is getting the buildings off the backdrop. And as you can see, I've already started scraping some off. About 15 minutes ago I came out here and give these, and I did this the other day, but I just came out here about 15 minutes ago and gave them another squirt of water and alcohol and let them soak for a little bit, and then I can use this putty knife and I can scrape them down. When I get everything off with the exception of the glue residue, then I'll go to like a Brillo pad, not a Brillo pad, a scrubby pad, a Scotch pad, and I will get the rest of the glue off, and then I will find out whether I do or do not have to paint a lot of the backdrop again. I'm hoping that I'll get by without it. Anyway, that being said, I'm not sure how the track work's going to go. We'll get into that on the next update. However, what we were thinking is possibly a mesa about the height of the bottom of that of this opening here, coming out and then sloping down at a drastic angle, like in a semicircle around that corner. Then kind of coming down to track level, or close to track, maybe not even to track level, and then extending that back about, oh, maybe right in there somewhere, and maybe about 1 inch high by the time it gets back there, and then a cut through that, and then I will explain back here what that is for. Gavin had a good idea and said, maybe it'd be cool if we could build a bridge like the one we go to and look at trains here. And I already have the curved bridge and I couldn't figure out a place to put it, so the suggestion was to put the curved bridge from here somewhere, up and over that opening and back down, and then across on a grade crossing, back across the track there, and then for the road to disappear behind the back of the mesa. And I do believe that's what we're going to do. And then somewhere where that comes down, there will be a, probably, or at least my thinking is, there'll be an abandoned gas station, old gas station there. And then the ghost town buildings will be all around the base of the mesa and maybe down in some of this opening here. And then when I cut down the cattle pen, I will likely put it in right in here somewhere, right in here. and I will take a piece of flex track and I will put it in there, and it will not be tied to the loop. It will be an abandoned piece of track where the switch would have been taken out, and the track will be full of weeds and stuff and almost non-visible. I'm going to try and weather up and cave in the tops on the parts of the cattle pen that there are, make it look like it's been abandoned for some time, and then over here where the road comes down and eventually comes in over here where it gets really skinny, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I may put a fence or something there. I may put some trees there, a couple of trees there. I don't know what I'm going to do to hide the fact that the road goes to nowhere. But I will do something. And I don't know, like I say, I don't know what it is yet. I may even build that up like a hillside there, or like a cut through a small berm. I don't know, but we'll figure out something there. That's not a big deal. One other thought I had, and I don't know how I'm going to implement it, where I'm going to implement it, but you guys have seen probably the module with the tornado on it. It's been on a lot of YouTube videos and stuff. I'm not going to do a tornado, but what I was thinking is if I could put a little teeny piece of fishing line from up in there down to the layout somewhere here at an angle, and if I could figure out how to attach cotton to that and make it look plausible, I was thinking about putting in a dust devil. Not a tornado, but a dust devil. We have lots of them out here, and I've never seen one modeled, so I'm thinking about that. So I'm getting a little re-energized with the prospects of this. And anyway, as I was telling you, whoops, hold on one second, I just stepped in my paint brushes. As you can see, spraying the backdrop down with water, if you put it on with that mucilage that I was talking about when I put it up, which is a dollhouse wallpaper paste, you can wet it, and you can, for the most part, get it off of there. And I'm confident that I can get it off of there. I just don't know how much work it's going to take and how much of the backdrop it'll screw up. I got a couple little places there where you can see I scraped some of the white paint off. But for the most part, it's not too bad getting it off of there. So that's the next project. When I get that done, then we'll figure out how we're going to work this track work. And I'm not sure how that's all going to pan out, but we will see. And that being said, let me show you something I got for Christmas. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with it. Okay, I thought this was kind of cool. Robin and I were at a Christmas store and we were walking around before Christmas, and I saw this and I told her, I said, I'd really like to have that. That's really cool. And she said, well, I'll just get it, and I'll wrap it up for you for Christmas. You know how it is when you get older, you don't know what to buy each other. So anyways, I told her I'd like to have it. But I haven't shown you the cool part. Watch this. Now, how cool is that? I think it was just really neat. We'd have the LEDs built into the headlights there, and it's got a little battery pack on the back. It can be hung on the wall. The frame is hangable. And here's what I have planned, okay? I'm thinking about taking the flag or some of that stuff up there. I'm not sure what, but move the flag over, maybe where those kits are and where the little engine that could is, and then possibly take that and either put it where the little engine that could is or somewhere, and I'm going to drop a wire down behind the backdrop, and I'm going to bring a wire. I'm going to try and get that wire, and I don't know how yet, but I'm going to try and get that wire over here somewhere, the same way I got these wires over here for the lights that were on the buildings, and I may even be able to use one of those building light wires. But I'm going to hook a wire permanently to that so that when I turn the layout on, those headlights on that car come on. Okay, and here's another thing I'm going to show you. I think you guys already know that have been around the channel for quite some time. I collect these. These are Hallmark Christmas tree ornaments, and they are from a series called The Sky is the Limit. This is this year's, and I'm trying to remember what this plane is. Hold on a minute. Maybe it's on the tail. I think it's a Ronin Speedster. Not really sure about that, but I think it's a Ronin Speedster. I don't know my airplanes very well. Of course, it looks like a lot of other planes, but let me show you the rest of them I have on the roof. I think you've seen them, but let me show them to you real quick. Okay, so there's a whole poop load of them up here. The military planes, most of them I built. Most of these private planes, you can see how long I've been collecting them, because there's probably 10 or 15 of them up here. There's one of them way down here, right there. Anyways, I've been collecting them for a long time. Some of those are from the series, and some of them I built. Even that Wright Flyer back there is one of them. But anyway, I've enjoyed having them and having her give them to me each year, and I really enjoy it. I got to get this one hung up, and I'm going to show you one more thing before I take off. Okay, when I was a youngster, and I used to go to my cousin's house in Tucson, we used to stay up until midnight, and they used to have a show over there in Tucson with, I don't know if it had Elvira in it or not, but it had, they used to play the old monster movies, and he and I were always fascinated and sat there on the edge of our seat and watched all the old monster movies. And as you can see, this is a re-release of what used to be The Hunchback of Notre Dame. They now apparently couldn't use the rights to that, so they call it The Bell Ringer of Notre Dame. Not Dame, but Notre Dame. Anyway, I just had a hankering to build a monster model, so I've been working on this guy. I think it turned out pretty nice. I was surprised how well it went together. Not very many pieces to it, but a lot of filling of seams and so forth. Anyway, that's something I did on my little hiatus time out. I enjoyed it immensely, and I'll probably be buying the Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Mummy, and Frankenstein at some point, although the price of those has gone up to nearly $100 a shot. So, that being said, I don't know when I'll get to that, if I'll get to it, but I would like to get those at some point in time and build them, because those are the ones I remember. So that's it for today, guys. Okay, gang, after I filmed that last little bit, I was goofing with this, and I've spent about maybe 15 minutes on this, spraying it and scraping, and you can see that I've made a whole lot of progress. It's going to be relatively easy to get it off there. Just got to take a break every now and then on my back, but aside from that, it'll be a piece of cake. We'll talk to you next time. Okay, everybody, hope you enjoyed the update. And you can see what I got going on, and you're up to date with me, and as usual, thanks for watching.